Well, my opening statement's super simple. Hung Lo Wang, you're a degenerate and a man prostitute, essentially, and you're engaging in prostitution. There's no way you're not engaging in prostitution, and you're leaving behind a bunch of single mothers, oftentimes lesbians. A terrible outcome for your children, which in my book makes you a scumbag, and I can't wait to dive into this debate.
And Hunglo, to you, opening statement. Now they're making theirs short and sweet. You do have a few minutes if you want to take time.
Well, let me begin by giving you a little background. I never intended to get myself into to any of this. When I was in college, I got a job working for a Chippendale subcontractor up near Washington, D.C. I was in business school, and I was just trying to pay my tuition. So first, our manager sold us off as models. You know, I think we did like the Pride Parade one year, stuff like that. And then it turned into birthday parties, bachelorette parties, and more and more and more, our clientele was typically lesbian women. And to me, you know, I didn't understand why I was young. I was, 18, 19, 20 years old. But now I can kind of look back on it 20 years ago and say, all right, so that was the market back
prattling degen, dude.
Either the IVF clinics or,
I hope he hurries up.
Facebook and various websites like the Known Donor Registry. If you go the IVF route, there's no possibility for the child to ever meet the father. The other routes, it's possible. For some reason, a lot of the women don't prefer that, but if, the child ever wants the option to meet the father, the IVF clinics in the United States don't offer that. I think in maybe Australia that's a possibility, but that's issue complaint number one amongst donor conceived persons. They get a little older, usually around age 5, the child starts asking about the father, and then by the time they're a teenager and an adult, they really want to know the other half of their background, brothers, sisters, extended family. Not that they even want to know about the father, but they want to know about the family, the medical history. So I suppose in the donor realm, you've got opportunities that do not exist when we're dealing with IVF clinics or the cryo industry.
Yeah, I'd like to just kind of dive right into this. So, Mr. Hung Lo, how many children do you have total?
In the United States, that number is around a dozen. I try not
just
to give
just total. How many do you have total?
The rumor I'm getting out of the research firm in Hong Kong is 400.
Yeah. So what's the total though? Like roughly the total.
I don't have the ability to confirm that number in Asia because I'm dealing with multiple fertility corporations in Asia across multiple countries. Japan, Korea, China, Singapore. I can't give you an exact number.
Could it be okay? Can you give me a range?
The last information I got out of Hong Kong was they had estimated 400 DNA matches.
Okay, so at least 400 is what you assume at this point safely?
That's the number they're touting in Asia. They've called me the Barbarian.
Okay, gotcha. So, quick couple of follow-ups. Do you give a shit about any of these kids at all?
Absolutely. I actually got a contact about 2 years ago from a teenage daughter in Japan, and since then I've reached out in an attempt to expand real estate operations in Japan, try to get Redfin and Zillow into the Japanese market. So, maybe I could give my daughter a future in real estate in Hokkaido, managing real estate sales and marketing for U.S. firms like Zillow and Redfin. That was the idea. But yeah, I absolutely do care.
You do care about them? And how many of these children end up in single mother households?
In the United States, I've currently got that issue with 2 out of about a dozen, and it's something, I've spoken with these women about indefinitely. The average divorce on the lesbian divorces appears to be about 7 years. When the child hits age 5, they start asking for the father, and that's a roadblock in the relationship.
And how do you intervene on that? What is the intervention that you do when you find out that your kid is being raised by a single mom?
I maintain contact.
You maintain contact?
Yeah.
So really, both of these kids' names?
Yeah, all of my children in the U.S. get to see me and talk to me whenever they want. That's why the number's about a dozen.
You just don't want to pay for them, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Oh, got it.
Right. So you're not offering any sort of help to these kids who are being raised by single mothers, even though they're your kids. Yeah, just so I can give you some stats. I just want to make sure that we're clear on this. From the single mother category, 90% of homeless kids, single mother. 89% of children admitted to psychiatric hospitals, single mother. 85% of children with behavioral disorders, single mother. 71% of children substance abuse treatment centers, single mother. 70% in juvenile correction facilities, all forms of child abuse are at least prevalent among homes with both married bio parents by a factor of 8 times or more, meaning that you're 8 times more likely in a single mother home to experience abuses as well. So when you say, oh, these kids can contact me with what? Do they get to contact you and say, hey, gee, dad, mom doesn't take care of me and has strange men who come over and fuck her at night? What do you say to them, bro? Do you do anything to assist these children at all?
So about 2 years ago, the area of Florida I live in had a major hurricane that killed about 200 people on the beach, and destroyed the homes of one of my children and his mother's. So they came to stay with me for about 4 months. But
Were you having sex with either of them when they came and stayed with you?
I maintain adult relationships with the mothers of my children.
So
Long-term.
okay. When your kid's house got shut down for whatever this external reason was, it was nice that you allowed his mom to come stay with you so that you could fuck her, right? Isn't that what you're saying here?
I maintain adult relationships with the mothers of my children indefinitely. So
Does that mean
whenever-
you're the mothers of your children? Is that what that
Yeah.
means? Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
So they came to stay with you because it's a booty call. So they stayed in your house. You were humping the mom. You don't have to pay a dime, and then they leave. How exactly is this assisting the child?
My kids get to see me whenever they want.
Yeah, how is it? How do you assist them, though, through financials, through assisting in their school? For instance, number 2 kid, do you know the name of the school he goes to? Or
Yeah.
she?
Yeah, absolutely.
And have you paid a dime towards any of the school tuition, any of the school backpacks, anything like this?
Lots of holiday gifts, birthday gifts, lots of vacations together.
That's not my question. Can you answer the question I asked you?
So what, you mean like $20 for a backpack?
Yeah, I'm
pack of
asking, do you
pencils?
buy school clothes for them? Are you assisting them with their health care needs? Are they on your insurance? Like, what are you doing for these kids, bro, that are yours, that you love and care about so much?
So during the day, I do some capital management, and I frequently trade accounts for the mothers of my children. So, on a good week, I make the right trade. A $250,000 split 12 ways. Not too bad.
Okay, you taking money from these women and then doing day trading on their dime again, where you, again, no risk liability to you at all, and you might potentially make them some money, is not supporting your kids. It's risking the money of their mothers, in fact, right? Isn't that what that's actually doing? You're literally risking their mother's money on behalf of some trade you think might work out for you. What is your actual risk here?
I've got to say, this situation has certainly limited my financial liability.
So no risk.
Seems that way.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't understand how on the one side of your mouth, and I'll turn this over to my partner here in a second, but I don't understand how on the one side of your mouth you can say, oh, I care so much about these kids. Oh, it's great. Their moms. But even I'll even day trade with their money. I love day trading with their money. And if I lose it all, well, I have no liability, no big deal whatsoever. I don't have to pay anything for these children. Meanwhile, I love them so much that I'll leave them inside of a single mother household, right? You're not exactly fighting for custody to get them out of those single mother households. Do I have that correct?
Yeah, I would never attempt to take my child away from their mother.
Yeah, you'd never attempt to mitigate the risk by 90% for homelessness, for instance, 89%, children admitted to psychiatric hospitals. You'd never try to mitigate any of that risk for your biological offspring, right?
Well, hold on now. You mentioned homelessness. Now, I just told you a 22-foot storm surge destroyed my child's home, and I provided them with a home.
No, you
4
provided them with a place where you could their mom.
That's what their mom wants.
Yeah, no, that's not providing a home for a child. That's not what a home for a child is. A home for a child has a mommy and a daddy that love them and are taking good care of them. That's what a home is. A home is not a place where you go for a booty call with a baby daddy. That's not what home, dude. And in what universe do you think that that's a good environment for a kid?